Alright, what's up? Today we're gonna talk about my fighting career, how I started fighting, why I started fighting, how it was to barely participate in the MMA Fighter Brazil, my brief amateur career, and all of my professional fights, all of my 13, 14 professional fights so far. So, I started training in 2007. I started training boxing. Boxing was the first thing I ever trained. That's why I got such awesome fucking hands.
Okay.
And I started training because, well, like I was a little bit of a goof as a kid, pretty spoiled as a kid. I never really had a hard time, so private schools and all that. So I didn't know how to fight at all. And one day, this dude at school slapped me in the face, and I almost shit my pants. I remember just not expecting it at all. He pretended like he wanted to talk to me, pulled me aside and started talking to me all cool, and boom, slapped my face and said, "Yo, why did you tell that girl this?" I don't even remember what it was. He just wanted to fuck with me, really. And so I almost shit my pants, and I'm like, "No, bro," and that scarred me a little bit, I guess. I was a spoiled little kid. I didn't have anything harder than that happen to me in my life until that point, I guess. So when my mom in 2007, her gym shut down and she switched to another gym in our neighborhood. So mom came to me and said, "Hey, in this new gym that I'm training now, they have boxing. Would you like to try out?" And I'm like, "Why not? It would be cool to beat everybody up if I want to." So hell yeah. I started training at age 13, 14, and I trained for like a year. Not really training, you know. I was going in the morning. I really actually wanted to sleep, but like almost a year after, I saw a video of me punching the bag, and I'm like, that sucks. Like everything that my coach tells me, I'm not really doing there, but like, see some potential there. I'm kind of learning this stuff, and that's when I actually started enjoying it. And then almost a year after, I was pretty good at it and decided to compete. So my first competition, it was in 2010, about 2 years after I started training. It was an adult boxing competition, so probably all of my opponents were over 18. Actually, that kind of got me pumped. Like the first fight, I was really afraid, but after I won my first fight, I was like, man, this is fun. Like this is pretty fucking epic. So that's how I felt. So I was pretty confident going to every fight after that first one. Fourth fight, 16-year-old, I was in high school, and I was gonna fight this dude that was a Vale Tudo fighter. And if you know, Vale Tudo was like the old MMA when people didn't fight with gloves. MMA was already MMA, but when he fought, there was videos on YouTube, something called Real Heroes, or Real Heroes for you American. And this guy was fighting no gloves. There was a video of him knocking out a dude with headbutts, and that was vicious. So when I found out that I was gonna fight that guy, I didn't get scared really, because it was boxing. I knew I was potentially better than him, and I knew it was gonna be a fight, and I knew I was gonna become a legend in my school. So first thing I do when I find out I'm gonna fight him, I download his YouTube video knocking out dude with a headbutt, and I show everybody in school, "Yo, this is the guy that I'm gonna fight on Tuesday. This is the guy that I'm gonna fight next Tuesday." I just knew I was slowly becoming a legend in those dudes' brains as they're looking at the phone going like, "You're still gonna fight?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not? Why not? I think it's gonna be fun." And everybody was like, "What the fuck? This dude's gonna die. He doesn't even know." Then Tuesday comes. It was a pretty close fight, but I went out on unanimous decision. My first war ever in my life at 16 years old, and that was awesome. Then I come back to school the next day with my face pretty bust up, and like everybody's like, "Yo, what happened? Did you die?" And I'm like, "No, I won." They're like, "What?" They're like, "Yep, I won." And then videos up on YouTube. At least who saw that dude's video, in their mind, I became a legend. After that, I got the finals. I connected a punch on his eyebrow pretty quick on the first round. It was a cut and a TKO. So I was a champion. After 5 fights straight, won gold medal. I was pretty at the top of my world. And then it all began. So next week, I'm already signed up for another tournament. This was a tournament where people were more experienced. I didn't really know how to box. I didn't really know you could box when you fight. I thought it was just throwing punches, going in, pulling your forehead forward, chin down, and throwing punches. That's all that I did at the time. And this guy was like this tall. If I could just keep jabbing. I tried to do that at third round. So that was the first time I got beat up in my career. Like beat up. We started exchanging. He like said he was destroyed, so he was like thick, full ass grown, short dude, and just beating the shit out of my body, like beating the shit out of my body. So that was really hurtful. I gassed out by the end of the first round, probably. At the third round, I'm like, shit, I'm gonna try to box, because I've heard about it. I've heard my coach talking about it, like straight punches and boom and footwork, but I never really trained, never really done that. And then I jab, footwork, back and forth, jab, cross. When I pull back, he throws a punch, he completely misses and does a 360. That was the key to win there, very clearly. But I was completely gassed out. Next interaction, we were already exchanging, and I'm already getting beat up again. So lost that fight. Competed a few times again as an amateur in 2012. Got a pretty sick left hook KO. And that was pretty much my amateur boxing career. Then I went to MMA. Right after I started boxing, I started training Muay Thai and then Jiu-Jitsu. When I started training Jiu-Jitsu, I had no interest in Jiu-Jitsu. I really just wanted to be good at MMA when I started training Jiu-Jitsu. I know I had to train Jiu-Jitsu to be good at MMA, so that's why I did it. Amateur MMA, I only did like 2 fights. I got a win, a TKO, and I lost by decision. I never wanted to fight amateur. I always wanted to fight professional. And after my second fight as an amateur, I'm like, all right, I'm going pro. I don't care. So I started looking for pro fights, and it wasn't that popular at all. And back in 2013, not a lot of shows around. After trying for a lot of time, I almost gave up. I was always working like half-time jobs, teaching in English in Brazil. I was in college at the time, never really looking for a job because I wanted to be an MMA fighter. And I didn't really want to work too, honestly. But yeah, after really trying to get a fight, I couldn't. So I took a job. The same week I landed the job, I get a fight. They call me for a late replacement.